Welcome to another amazing studios session. Subscribe to the Postal Blue Podcast on all streaming platforms and check out Amazing Studios on YouTube for video content. Also follow the Postal Blue Podcast community on X, formerly known as Twitter. We appreciate all the support we're getting and thanks for listening.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Postal Blue Podcast. This is episode 4, entitled Article 3. Today, we are in full staff today. Actually, we got a plus one because Watkins is here. I'm your boy, LA Styles, a.k.a. Ice. You do have your boy, Black Knight, in the building, also known as
Yes,
Coffey.
sir.
You got your girl, Fee, finally. Fee, a.k.a. Fee.
AKA?
Always on the run.
Yeah. And then we got your girl, Cherie. She ain't got no code name yet. She got to pick one. You know what I'm saying? So we don't know what it is.
Watkins for now.
Call
We're
it
gonna
Watkins.
figure it out by next week.
What's going on, everybody? How was y'all week in the postal service in general?
It was hard. It was
Terrible.
hard.
It was hard. You said you been still in time for 5 days, Fee. How was it hard?
What is really still in time?
Right.
Just walking at a normal pace.
Define what's stealing time. Define that.
Who?
Walking at a normal pace. Unbelievable.
That ain't what she said she was doing.
I wasn't
That's what
stealing
she was
time.
doing.
Listen, that'd be inappropriate of me to define what stealing time is current.
I wasn't stealing time though.
Okay.
My route was 8 hours or over.
When is your route over?
Man, that's old too.
With no pivot.
When is your route over, Fee?
With no pivot.
Yeah, we gonna get into that.
Mm-hmm.
We gonna get into that. I ain't trying to perjure myself. And I ain't trying to tell on my sister, so we gonna leave that there.
So we're tackling this Article 3 management rights. There's only one little stanky page. So let's tap in.
My week was great. I made my business known that I couldn't do a pivot this week. Not for 1 minute, not for 1 second, not at all. I don't even know what that means. I don't play basketball anymore, so pivots are in basketball, not in the postal service. But other than that, I had a great week. You know what I'm saying? Wasn't a lot of back and forth with anybody. Just a great week. You know what I'm saying? I got on Watkins because she wasn't here last week, and AKA Fee, AKA on the run. Hey, we found her this week. We ain't gonna tell the authorities where she at, but hopefully this week in Article 3, we're gonna talk about all the things that management says that's in Article 3 that's really not in Article 3. It is basically a heading from A to F, and a lot of this stuff. A lot of stuff that they say that's in Article 3 are really not in Article 3. So hopefully we can break it down and give everybody helpful information on what it will be, what Article 3 really means and what they can really do. Side note, I want to tell everybody this because I want y'all to know. Article 3 does not mean that they can ask you to work unsafely or anything that you deem to be unsafe. If it's a dog on the block, they tell you, just go to the next split. I believe the dog can come down the street, so I ain't gonna do that split either. Where I give you a direct order, not when it involves my safety. So just know anything that involves your safety, Article 3 doesn't. That's just something they trying to say.
Basically, you have a right to failure to follow.
Yes, when it comes to your safety, because as per the United States Postal Service, they say safety begins and ends with you. So therefore, they have already deemed that your safety, you get to choose what's safe for you. So if you go down that street and get bit, they're definitely going to write you up from getting bit. So your safety definitely starts and ends with you. So if you feel like someone's safe, oh well. You know what I'm saying? If it's 6 o'clock and it's black dark on the street and you look at the hairs on the back of your neck stand up, I wouldn't do it. I mean, that's just me, but and they say you have to do it, just let them know, hey, I don't deem that it's safe.
And just to chime into that. I was attacked by a pit bull last year in September. My manager told me I got bit 3 times in one hand, and he told me why I didn't text the scanner. Mind you, I'm on my back. Literally, the dog is on top of me.
Wow.
Didn't know where the scanner was. Didn't even think about a scanner. I'm thinking about him not biting my face.
Correct.
My glasses then flew off. So it just really kills me when they have these management rights and, about this safety thing, because it's bull crap.
Correct. I mean,
it's bull crap. They get mad, and like I say, I see this all the time on the carrier side and management side. Carriers, some of them be on crap with the restrictions and the injuries or whatnot, but everybody don't be on that. Either way it go, I don't give a crap what happens. Your manager gonna say you were working unsafe. My manager said that he wasn't even there that day.
God damn.
I mean,
so before I let y'all go forward, we gonna read what the Article 3 says.
Oh yeah, let's do that. Definitely. Go and get them little 5 sentences out the way.
Right.
This Article 3. All right. So I can get this from in front of me and get to my other notes that I want to get over that contradicts this. So our Article 3, we all know. If you don't know, we'll know by the end of today's show. Is management's tool to say, quote unquote, they have the right to manage. They typically only use that term, and in my experience, all of our experience, we work for the post office. It's all based on our opinions and our experience, right? They typically only say this or use this when they're mismanaging, which is only a term I've ever heard in the Postal Service. The right to manage, which is really the right to mismanage, right? And then we'll get to how it's being used, what it says, and how it probably should be used versus how it's actually being used in the Postal Service. All right. So the right to manage, Article 3, management rights. It reads, the employer shall have the exclusive right, subject to the provisions. I'm reading word for word, y'all.
Mm-hmm.
And then we'll break it down going through so people know.
I got my J-Cam.
Okay.
Me too.
Me too.
Right. The employer shall have the exclusive right, subject to the provisions of this agreement and consistent with applicable laws and regulations. A, to direct employees of the employer in the performance of official duties. B, to hire, promote, transfer, assign, and retain employees in positions within the Postal Service and to suspend, demote, discharge, or take other disciplinary action against such employees. C, to maintain the efficiency of the operations entrusted to it. That's to the Postal Service. D, to determine the methods, means, and personnel by which such operations are to be conducted. E, to describe a uniform dress to be worn by letter carriers and other designated employees. And F, to take whatever actions may be necessary to carry out its mission in emergency situations. Stop, pause there. The mission of the post office is to get everything delivered. Mail, package, anything posted. That's the mission of the Postal Service, right? So I'll start that one from the beginning. F, to take whatever actions may be necessary to carry out its mission in emergency situations, i.e., an unforeseen circumstance or a combination of circumstances which calls for immediate action in a situation which is not expected to be of a recurring nature. All right, does anybody else want to add something to that out of the paperwork that they have?
Sorry about that. I had to walk off for a second.
Coffee, Fee?
I want everybody to address their attention to F. This is where, we find ourselves in the pickle that they like to call management. It's supposed to be done in certain situations where management is having a hard time doing so. It don't supposed to be done just because today I woke up, my wife made me mad, and now I got to take it out on somebody. Or I'm trying to prove myself with the other supervisor and to show them that I have the same, authority over these individuals that I can say so. Management rights are to be able to get the mail out efficiently. Not to get carriers, agitated before they go out the door. Not to find ways to argue with carriers, not finding ways to put mail back on the floor. Their job is to get each and every person to do their job. That's their job. Now, a situation will occur where if you got a 50 carriers in one station, and let's say 40 of them called in, okay, it don't look like no mail going out today. So is it going to irritate you because you got to leave your route on the floor to help the whole station? Sure. But they're trying to get all the packages out. That's understandably what management is managing effective, right? They should understand it's going to be a grievance, but they also understand the job is to get as much mail out they can that day, even though that irritates us. Management rights is not just to be like, hey, because I told you to, go jump off top of the building, you should do it. That's not management rights.
When they use that term, management rights, everything is always 3F, an emergency.
Well,
I'm doing this because it's an emergency. 2 people called in, so I don't care. You're going to go over, we're going to do the 1260 file. Go ahead, file a grievance. And then I'm going to argue back with you and say, well, that was your choice. You stayed out there.
Well, management, one of the hardest things that most management does not want to admit, and I think is not a stain on the profession of being a manager, is basically saying that we have to do better and train better. I mean, most managers are coming under other managers or supervisors coming under other supervisors that just don't know what they can and can't do, right? So if you don't know something, of course you're going to do whatever the person who trained you. They was wrong, you're wrong, and now you're going to make this other person wrong. And then they'll holler, well, I didn't know. Well, I can go back and look and see you lost 12 grievances doing this same thing. You think you would change your practice, right? So that's really what it is, where it comes down where you could be 2 routes down and now they're going to force somebody to go do overtime when you could really ask for volunteers, right? You could say, hey.
And in all actuality, that should be what's happening.
Correct. But it goes to not understanding the body of work that you're supposed to do. If you don't understand what you're doing, you're going to do it wrong every time. It's like going in the kitchen. I don't know how to cook a cake, but they say if I read the box, okay, you go read that box and you still do it wrong. You don't understand what you're doing. That's management problem. They want to manage. They want a right to manage wrong, but they don't even know how to manage right, wrong, or to the side. So it's always a reason why we're in a flux of, wow, we got to stop doing this. We should have never been doing it in the first place.
I just think management should be held accountable for that. Is it the carrier's fault that y'all didn't just read what y'all supposed to do? It's ridiculous.
Correct. I mean,
this manager don't know this. This manager don't know this. It's like, okay, ding, ding. Look at it for yourself. Now, see if you just can't find this information for your duties and stuff. That's a whole nother issue. It's right here.
But then they don't even communicate with each other.
Exactly. I've been in that situation where one management tell me something, another management question me. I done got this taken care of with the other manager. Oh, why they didn't tell me? I don't know. Because maybe you the nighttime, maybe that wasn't your business.
Well, the problem is they don't have effective communicational skills to start off. If you don't know how, if everything you do is in the mindset of because I told you so, you don't have good communicational skills. It's gonna be some situation where because I told you so is the answer. But most situation is, you know what I'm saying, it's breaking it down why this person should do what you're asking them to do. I know you don't want to get forced 2 hours today. But per the contract, everybody's a 10-hour vow. And we started, you know what I'm saying, we start from the lowest to the highest or the highest to the lowest.
It never happens like that.
Nope.
Correct.
It never happens like that. Like Fee said, it's no communication. And the managers be so biased with this. It's like, okay, I know she can run it. She gonna run it. When I was a CCA, just because I was doing my job or whatever, my workload always was triple. Just because I'm right here, I'm reliable. This is what it is.
Correct.
Just like when you training, because I'm on the job trainer as well. When you're training, they're not supposed to give you a pivot. They're not supposed to give you overtime.
Correct.
At first, I used to let them do it, like, oh, forget it or whatever. But now, I'm not about to keep letting you do that. Nope. I don't get no pivot. I don't get no overtime, because we're the reason why some of these people not staying, because we're not adequately training them the right way, because we're trying to hurry up and rush so we can get our pivot and our overtime done.
I definitely agree. Because think about it. Look how they got it set up. 3 days of training. LA was my trainer. When I started the post office, I got a message from him, and he said, well, you know, ain't nobody willing to train you down here at Tectonia, so I train you. I said, well, that's even better. He on the desk, so that's a win-win for me. We had a 3-day
down
window.
Here, we got 5 days.
Yeah, see, we had a 3-day window for training. I asked, can I come the next day? You know, I had a LLV training during that week, but I did 4 days.
Okay.
It wasn't enough, but it was enough to kind of get me out there. But I'm like, damn, how much you really have to pay attention, take heed, ask questions, look and stuff, because you just out there. I feel so sorry for the CCAs and the PTFs that's coming in. You know, they get this whack-ass training. And when I say whack-ass training, I'm playing back on what Fee said. You want me to train him, but you got me doing a pivot. You want me to do a pivot in overtime.
And then that falls on management. When they get out there, management don't even go out there and check on them to see how they doing. Because they too busy sitting their fat tails behind that desk doing nothing. Go out there and see how they doing, and how can you go out there and help improve them so that they will stay. But management doesn't do that.
All right, now I'm gonna give y'all this. All right, not necessarily no pushback, but context for the people of the Article 3. Right, a lot of the discrepancies we seeing, such as training, such as giving out overtime or signing overtime or taking volunteers or whatever the case, if you down, all of these things falls back to Article 3. The lack of management knowledge, supervisors, managers, falls back on Article 3. People coming in, and because you don't have to follow the rules, and again, that's not what Article 3 says to do. I'm talking about how it's used. Because management feel like they don't have to follow the rules, then I don't need a manager or a supervisor that knows the rules. You get what I'm saying? They don't need to know how to pass out overtime, because they just gonna mismanage. They fall just back on mismanaging. You don't gotta know how to manage in the post office, because you could just mismanage. The counter to mismanaging was, there's a violation, you have to pay the grievance. But then when they're not paying the grievance, then they're not even paying the price for mismanaging. You get what I'm saying? So it seems like what they're doing is they just getting away with it, whatever the case is, because they're not even following suit throughout the contract period. It's just mismanaging across the board. And don't nobody have to be responsible or accountable for anything. Along with managers or supervisors being on the desk, if you don't have a station that's like maybe in the high 30s as far as routes, or 40 routes and up, then most likely you don't have a middle person as far as the supervisor goes. And if you don't have a middle person with how many surveys and how many reports that they put in on the opener person, you ain't gonna never get outside to check on trainers, check on trainees, to check on the streets, to do street ops. You ain't gonna never get outside. because
but those managers
stuff to do
always get outside.
For the super. Well, the manager's not supposed to be outside, supposed to be the supervisor, but the supervisor got so much stuff to do that they can't get outside currently. Not to say that's
my supervisors ain't got nothing to do. They sitting there playing on their phones all day long.
Yeah, the manager always be outside, and little flats too. Don't give a crap. And it's like, what is you doing?
Okay, so slow down. For one, your manager is outside because your manager don't know what her job is and can't do it, so she ain't got nothing else to do. That's what your manager.
And we'll play back to the manager before. You know, I had him so mad. He walking with me. It's like, dude,
but he's another one that didn't know what he was doing. So
correct.
When you're not doing it, okay. As far as for one, Watkins, your station, I got your station a lot of the stuff they needed before I left there. So your station didn't have to do too much be in the manager's seat. When I had to go back to my station, I had to do so much in ordering arrow key locks, arrow keys, vehicles, getting vehicles fixed, maintenance for the building. I had already did that prior to Titonia before I left Titonia. He came into a seat, right, and had a full station. He could sit down and do his work with no issues, which is light work, when he really supposed to be managing the facility, right? Your station's small. You only have 2 clerks. Cool. They typically be there, especially Rand. So not too much to do. Building maintenance is already taken care of because they was down there almost weekly because we kept getting hit by gimbals when I was down there. Then I got all the vehicles changed from vans to almost ProMaster. All the other ProMasters was getting ready to come in. Cool, your vehicle's straight, your building is straight. You got two clerks and you got a building full of CCAs. What do he have to do?
Full of them.
He got to do like five whatchamacallits, 5 surveys or something like that. Respond to 2 things. And then he free to do anything. He should be managing, but when everything's already on like autopilot, then he don't got too much to do, which is why he's able to hit the street. Your current manager fell into that same seat, which is why she able to hit the street. But also with that, a lot of things she don't even know how to do, so they're just not getting done, or she most likely putting it on the supervisor to do, which is why the supervisor can't get out.
She's definitely putting it on the supervisor. It's so funny to me when they argue with each other. Management snapping on the supervisor like, I just did what you said, but I don't really want to say that you told me to do this, but I'm just going to, take that hit.
So
it's crazy.
Now, so the listeners know, now this is for customers as well, along with employees, that this is a repeat occurrence in the Postal Service, right? That management use or attempt to use Article 3 as a right to mismanage everything. Now, you heard the one that's mainly used, but we're going to give you 2. We're going to go back into give you an example, right? Because it's A through F.
Say that first. I'm giving you an instruction.
E, to prescribe a uniform dress to be worn by letter carriers and other designated employees. Now, as an example, in paperwork, it says that a carrier has to be in full uniform when they hit the street. It does not say that they have to be in uniform in the office. Now, they should be in the correct and proper footwear, but there's nothing, and that's for safety reasons. If you don't know, so for all you carriers that's listening, you should be having on the proper footwear when you go onto the floor. Because the floor wet, it's mopped, and you don't have on non-slip shoes. If you slip and fall, you know that's your fault. I'm just gonna let you know that. They're gonna say it's your fault.
Correct.
You should be in the proper footwear. I'm just giving you the base principle. You should at least
management. Well, they want more than that. I gotta.
That's what we're gonna get into, Watkins. I got you.
Oh,
so you should have on the proper footwear. This goes across the board. Y'all shouldn't be arguing. Y'all shouldn't be debating. Now, wherever you accept is on you. I accept on days that I don't come with quote unquote the proper footwear, but I always have my footwear in my vehicle. That days that I don't come on the floor with the proper footwear, I know for a fact in my head that if I slip and fall or something happen on the floor, that's my fault. And I'm not going to blame management. I'm not going to try to. I'm not going to say it's an on-the-job injury. I'm just going to have to accept it. Y'all got to do the same. Take responsibility for your faults as well. Okay? You should have on the proper footwear. But it does not say you have to be in full uniform. Now, going back into Article 3, management would say you have to be in full uniform. Per the contract in black and white, that's not true. They will follow that by, now this just happened. like maybe a couple weeks ago, a CSOM. In some of y'all areas, they probably got the title OIG. Oh, is it OIC? My bad. Should be OIC, right?
Correct.
In some of y'all areas, that's the CSOM. That's the manager that's above your station managers. That's in between the station managers and the actual postmaster of your district. Excuse me. He said when someone brought up to him about what it says in black and white about not being in uniform, you know what his response was? But to follow that, y'all, here's the thing for that. This is why y'all got to be in uniform. Article 3. They said, what's that? They said, management got the right to manage. So y'all got to follow the instructions and then follow grievance. So black and white, the contract says we don't have to be in uniform. You saying we have to be in uniform in the office, and the reason why is you want us to do it, although you know it's breaking the contract, and then file a grievance that you're going to hold off on not paying. This is what I tell people then. If you experience that, now I'm one of the people that go to the extreme though, right? So if that's the case, if you experience that, then every office should just come in plain clothes and with your proper footwear, and let management tell you, hey, you got to be in full uniform and file a grievance. We using Article 3, right to manage. Cool. And then every day from that point on, y'all should come in the quote unquote come in uniform, and y'all should have, if your station got 30 routes, y'all should have 30 grievances every day on a log every day, every single day of every month. We grieving it because you force it. Now, also with the right to mismanage, or the right to manage, as they say, but we know it's mismanaging, right? They hold off or attempt to hold off on paying grievances. This is something that they also hide behind Article 3, when they supposed to be. Oh, you got some coffee? Go ahead. You was muted.
One of the things that always irritate me when they come up with the uniform thing is you don't have enough money to buy every piece of uniform that you need. If you buy summer clothes, that means in the winter you're not going to have any winter clothes. And if you buy winter clothes, that means you're not going to have any summer clothes. They get mad when your clothes are stained up. They're not dirty, but hey, I mean, you touch everything, so you're going to look like what you touch. If a person get a pair of shoes, your pair of shoes are going to go out every 3 to 4 months. If you're doing a park and loop, your shoes are going to be destroyed in 1 to 4 months. The shoes are going to cost you anywhere almost to $200, and most people are not getting paid. They just round it up to $500 a year that you get for uniforms. So if you use your uniform allowance just on shoes, you wouldn't have enough shoes to wear for the whole 365 days. So certain things, like I always tell people, I'm just going to challenge you. I mean, it's your job to give me all the tools to be able to be great at my job. They forget that, and they continue to not want to listen when that comes. Go ahead, Watkins.
And that's where a lot of the injuries and things like that come in. Me personally,
man, hit that bell, man. Hit that bell. She said something, man. Hit that bell, man. She said something. Hit that bell.
Like I didn't spend hundreds.
Hold on, Watkins. I ain't got no bill, but you know what I'm saying. I do this for.
I don't
you know.
know.
What I'm saying?
All right. So like I said, I didn't spend hundreds of dollars on shoes, hoodies, whatever. It says per the contract, we supposed to get our uniform allowance between 90 and 120 days. And Fee, I know you can feel me on this. Why is we filing grievances for this?
My point.
And then y'all want to badger the carrier, so now they run into us. Now that's where our headache come in at. It's like, man, come on, man. I ain't get my uniform until 8 months when I got converted.
Wow.
Oh, that ain't nothing. Got my uniform allowance. Mind you, I done got different things throughout my time. Union Hall, friends or whatnot. So I had a little starter pack or whatnot. But like I said, management still, when he want to get mad at me, oh yeah, you better have your uniform pants on. Excuse me? I only just had $500, $600. I spent $388 on weather pants for the winter. The damn socks is over $20. So I just tell the carriers, it take, honestly, and I'm gonna keep it real, if you got close friends and stuff like that and people give you stuff, that's all cool. But on some real stuff, it's gonna take about 5 years to be fully uniformed.
Facts. And you better not gain weight and lose weight, because they're gonna add another 5 years on it.
It's over. Then everybody talking about you on crack and stuff, not even understanding that's just life, So, and like I said, when the PTFs come in and stuff like that, a lot of them be young, I ain't no spring chicken, I'm an 80s baby, so I'm up there. And I just try to tell them, like, just try to invest $20, $30 into this. And just like a carrier recently, my manager on him because he have some netted shoes on and he injured himself. And he told me, like, I don't even barely got a place to lay my head.
Yeah,
it ain't like it was back in the day where you can go to the Union Hall and get you some shoes and stuff like that. It's so different. We didn't have nothing 2 months ago. Now we got a little stuff in there, but it's still not enough.
See, so my pants tear up in the same spot all the time. So I had went to Walmart and I bought some, some black pants. I bought some navy blue pants, everything. Or whatever. And so he keep telling me that's not uniform. I'm not spending $80 for no pants and they keep tearing up in the same spot. Sorry.
And mind you, Fee, we try to be considerate. We'll try to get the blue and black. Because I've done that as well. Right now, right today, I don't have uniform pants. I wear a pair of my black capris or some that I done bought for the job. They didn't have blue.
And I tell them, you write me up or you send me home, I ain't coming back because I live 30 minutes away.
Now, I just want to hop in right quick for Coffey go. For those of you who don't know, because you can't see us, you know what I'm saying? My sister Fee has the legs of a silverback. And her thighs are like something you've never seen. So
no excuse.
Without her telling me, you know what I'm saying, I'm assuming that it keeps tearing in the thighs. Am I right or wrong, Fee? She probably busy. She don't want to tell on herself.
Yeah, she on mute, but that's or on the side.
You're absolutely right.
Okay.
And the seamstress that I took the pants to, she said those uniforms are made to be double stitched, and they're not. And see, we got a uniform store up here.
Okay.
And we got a uniform store here. Our all weather pants are like $380. Our coats are $5 something.
$388 to be exact.
But depending on the coat, but the lowest coat you can get is probably still in the 200s. And that's gonna be on the inner side or your jackets and things of that nature.
So y'all actually have a store fee?
Yeah, we actually have a.
We used to have a store. We used to have a store here, but it was a problem trying to get the vouchers over to the store, so the store went away. But we used to have a store here in Milwaukee. I was on the south side.
My manager you send me home, he know I ain't coming back. He'll send somebody else home. He ain't gonna play with me like that because he know I ain't coming back.
Well, I mean, we gotta address something. I don't try to be racist or seem or announce anything. Man, all poster pants are made for people with no booty and with no thighs.
Get your brother.
No hip.
Get your brother.
Right.
And no hip.
If you got a booty, these pants ain't for you. If you got thighs, bro, look, I can't help it. You know what I'm saying? My mama fed me cornbread and collard greens. You know what I'm saying?
You ain't gotta still eat it though, Coffey.
Hey, I don't change up. Whatever mama gave me, mama made me better.
I know
right.
That's right.
Right.
That's right.
But I'm thick, and what can I say? Pause. When you big bone it, pause. it's hard for you to get in these low bitty stuff. Like we have some women who pause. We have some women who can't even close their chest because they got to get a shirt like they 400 pounds just to close it. Like we got to
I'm sorry, Coffey.
Go ahead.
Then what management will do, they'll body shame these people.
Facts.
I had a carrier that came in and she was on the healthy side, and my manager said, yeah, I'm putting her on that route so she can walk up that hill.
Oh, wow.
I pulled up on her one day, me and this other carrier, and we took some stuff from her and stuff, and she was just like, I told her, start wearing stretch shorts and stuff. She started coming in with them little spandex shorts and stuff. She ain't had no uniform. It's like, what can she wear? Y'all body shame the people that's big. The people that's small, y'all think we gonna run. Them really the lazy ones, but it's like it's nothing for them to even feel comfortable in. Then they want to give you that little lime vest, that little orange vest. Okay, here, wear this. My manager tried to give me one. That shit it fell off my body. I said, I ain't wearing this. But I got this customer at the door with his pistol because it's 6, 7 o'clock at night. And he want to know who at the door in all black. That's me. I'm in all black. I got my North Face pullover on, and I'm delivering mail. Only thing I got on me is a mail bag. But he like, what the hell? Well, no. So, that can get dangerous too. When
I first started, I paid out of pocket for my uniforms because I didn't want to be walking on them people's porches unidentified because I was new to it. So I didn't know.
We didn't have that we didn't even really have that option. We probably could have went on Amazon and got something or whatever. But like you said, we gonna be spending money. It was so cold, and this one, LA was on the desk. I said, oh no, I went to Walmart and got one of them little kid snowsuits, and I wore that. They used to say that's the carrier, she being all black. Then they used to say, why you ain't got no uniform and stuff? Hey, call downtown and ask them that.
Exactly.
I'm working. So it's really crazy. And then management goes back and say, you're working unsafe. You supposed to have proper uniform. What is proper? I got a t-shirt on. I'm finna be walking all day, bending, dipping, falling, running. This is what I'm doing all day. But the post office, they something serious because they think like, oh yeah, because someone said this to me.
Yeah, it's too much.
Yeah, they say, well, this carrier couldn't afford some shoes, but they do pay you for academy training. They only when they hire you, you gotta wait 4 or 5 weeks to actually get in.
Exactly.
They do tell people don't quit their jobs, but we talking about people that don't even got jobs to quit. They ready to start.
The girl that I'm training now, she just made it through. She waited, she said, a month and a half.
Yep. Yeah, it be like that. I tell people, expect about 4 weeks. I don't know if you got a day job, sell some cakes or something. And then, once you get in there, you'll start getting paid for the orientation, and then academy training. You should get 2 checks before you actually hit the street. That's with the academy training. And then when you go train at a station, they pay you that little money. So they expect you to take that little money and get something immediately. So, 9 out of 10, and that goes back to what you said, Fee, pressure on the trainers.
Yeah.
They don't get enough time, so these carriers coming in, they ain't got their proper stuff, and it's like, oh yeah, you working unsafe. It's like, what the hell what you talking about? But goes back to Article 3. I instructed you.
Now that's something I want to get into, right? We're at the 40-minute mark. I want y'all to wrestle with this. You know what I'm saying? Now, there's way more, but I just want to go down the name of 8 ways a contract can be voided. and then we're gonna talk about 2 of them. Well, in short, we can kind of go over 2 of them, right? Not to keep y'all all late. It is 10 o'clock, 10:03 in fee time.
We up. We out here. We up.
All right.
See what you doing? You up? We up, baby. We
Yeah,
been waiting on you.
Yeah, I
We
get
up.
I get off. I got to get up at 5:30.
Yeah, I'm up early too. Sam got to be at work at 6. We out here. Let's get
You know it, baby.
All right. So one, I'm not gonna say the names, but what the numbers, but lack of capacity, fraud or misrepresentation, duress or under influence, unconscionable terms, illegality, mistake of fact and mistake of law, and possibility or impracticability, and then breach of contract. Now the 2 I want to talk about is breach of contract and unconscionable terms. Right now, y'all tell me I could be tripping. I'm typically not, unless I'm going to the extreme, but I could be tripping. Right. The first one I want to get into is unconscionable terms. I'm gonna read what unconscionable terms is. Right. Unconscionable terms. If the terms of the contract are unfair or oppressive, the contract can be voided by the other side.
Wow.
I'm gonna read that again.
What?
If a contract, this is after it's signed in effect. If the terms of the contract are unfair or oppressive, the other side can then void the contract. Now,
So we the other side.
now this what we finna see. In my opinion, if they continue to use Article 3 the way they use it, then to me, that is unfair and oppressive. Is it not?
I agree.
Yeah, I agree.
Because if we got an agreement, you can get this and I can get this, but you use something on your side that say that you ain't never got to abide by what I get, then how is that not unfair? How is it not unfair? If you violating everything that I won on the contract, so I got 5 good things, you got 5 good things, and with that, you got 5 bad things, which is the things I won. I got 5 bad things, the things you won. You want to take the 5 that you got, and then you want to mismanage around the other 5 to make so you got 10, so I got nothing.
Cause they gonna double up.
So now you got 10 good things because you can mismanage your way around the 5 or attempt to. Now I got nothing. So how's that unfair? In law, it says that's called unconscionable terms, and the other side can then void the contract.
Basically, with USPS, that'll be a lawsuit, cause they'll want us to grieve it to death.
Yeah.
On what fee? They gonna want us to grieve it to
No,
death.
watch this. Now watch this. But watch this.
And nothing come from it.
This is where the breach of contract comes from, right? I doubled up. I already knew where y'all was gonna go with it. You know what I'm saying? This is the other part in breach of contract. Let me read what breach of contract is. If one party fails to fulfill their obligations under the contract, the other party may be able to void the contract. Now watch this. I'm gonna go into this. And this is where the grievance process comes from, right? When they violate the contract, they're supposed to, if the grievance has a monetary value. Again, not all grievances have a monetary value, but there is but they're supposed to be a solution or a resolution, even if it don't have a monetary value. Well, one way or the other, there's still supposed to be a solution or resolution. Monetary value just comes in like, hey, I'm gonna pay you, but I'm still stop doing what I was supposed to be doing. That's how the grievance process works. I was unaware that I was violating the contract. Boom, there goes the settlement or whatever it is, and the resolution is I'll stop doing that. Right? So cool. According to breach of contract, though, if you continue to do what you was doing, then you're breaching the contract. Right? I'm gonna get into that and breach of contract. Because to me, if we settle on whatever and the resolution is you pay me, that fixes the breach. Cool, we got a resolution.
Hold up, LA. We don't even have a option. A lot of, and I've been seeing this a lot, and I don't know, Fee, if you can relate to this. You know, cases that we didn't won. In a carrier right now, a case we just won, a JSVB case. The carrier wasn't happy with the results. That was an issue for me. She said, I didn't get to choose.
Choose what?
The consequence in the option. She didn't get an option to settle or anything. That went all the way to informal, and she didn't get that option.
And so I'm assuming this is coming
So
from the EO.
Yeah, yes, indeed. So the final results after arbitration was this manager to be basically retrained again in the HERO program, supposedly. But if he do one more thing, he's out of there. And the carrier like, what the hell? I went through all this and, anxiety, all this crap. She didn't get to be a part of that. She did everything she was instructed to do. As far as the statements, we built this case. We had everything, She wasn't a part of that. That last supposedly settlement. Because if they put that on the table, like, okay, Miss Watkins, we agreed to, for this action that he did, we're gonna just retrain him. And I'm like, oh no, he needs to be fired. Are you kidding me? How could y'all even let him be on the floor again with what he's done to me? On top of other carriers as well. Other EOs as well that didn't properly go through, maybe a drop from the union, I was in the station and my manager...
Depending on certain cases and depending on what it is, that other party should be involved.
Thank you. I had a manager that threw a chair. First incident. Second incident with a person, he was kicking the tubs. Mind you, I had a personal incident with the same manager, hand all in my face, and it's just like, whoa. It became from work to street. I didn't understand. I thought that was automatic termination. I tried to relocate to a different station, but his boss said, CCAs don't got a right to choose what station they go to.
Now.
You making it a hostile work environment, though. Why can't I?
So check it
This
out.
person not only violated federal laws, he violated state laws as well. It's just like, come on, man. I could have got a restraining order.
So check it out.
For that.
After that, if they would have kept him, now I'll tell you, when I did my resolution, I see you, Coffey. When I did mine, it was in the office. It didn't go up to anybody else. Mine we handled in the office. Cool. If it wasn't handled in the office and it went up above that office for whatever reason, cool. And then I got something else that was something different, and I would have that type of EO, I would have followed that with a lawsuit for management or for the Postal Service or EO department, whoever you want to call it, allowing a hostile work environment, because the person that created it is still working for the company. So it's still allowed to happen because he can still do it. Again, when it says there's zero tolerance for a hostile work environment. So if this person stays in the company, then I should be suing. Right?
Yep.
That goes federal. But you also gotta let people know that you know stuff.
Because zero tolerance is zero.
Which is federal. For everybody who don't know, right? Zero tolerance is not a postal thing. They're just giving information where we can get information. Zero tolerance is a federal policy where anybody that creates or allows a hostile work environment, zero tolerance means it's automatic termination for that person, because the federal government does not want lawsuits and things of that nature. They done had it, and they don't want it no more because of whatever the case is. That's why zero tolerance. So before I get sued, before we got to pay this money, before whatever the case is, we gonna let that person go. Right? Again, that's federal policy. Management in any nature don't dictate that. No job dictates that. If they create a hostile work environment, it could be a wrap for that person. Just make sure you take your notes. If you got witnesses, make sure you get your statements. Make sure everything's zip tied in the bag real nice and neat. Okay, before I get back to Watkins and Fee, I'm gonna give the Coffey Go ahead, Coffey.
Correct. Zero tolerance means zero tolerance. No matter who the person is, what the person is. You have to be able to have this type of mindset. I'm not working. I'm going to come in every day, punch in, and I'm going to leave. I'm not working. Zero tolerance means zero tolerance. And anybody who wants to be tied into that group, that's cool. You'll be added as a defendant on my lawsuit. So that's his boss, her boss, whomever.
Yeah. Hold on.
When they hit that lawsuit hit legal, I guarantee you he'll be gone.
Wait a minute, hold
on. That's the nature that we battle with every day. Go ahead. I'm done. Go ahead.
Okay.
Hold on, y'all.
See you back. Okay. I sent you offline. I'm like, okay. I ain't have your number. Let me call her.
Watch this. It says, what is a breach of contract? A breach of contract is a violation of any of the agreed upon terms and conditions of a binding contract. The breach could be anything from a late payment, right? When last time y'all got your grievances? From a late payment to a more serious violation, such as failure to deliver a promised asset. I would count that as people getting a uniform allowances that they never get. This is all contractual stuff. So
just filed a non-compliance on that,
which then shouldn't be non-compliances. These would be breaches because they never fix the things that they supposed to make right. So when there's a violation of the contract, management is supposed to have whatever y'all come to as a resolution or solution, and or monetary value along with the resolution or solution. They're supposed to do both of those things to get right in with the contract. If they don't, then I'm trying to figure out how is that not a breach. It ain't about giving time. There's a breach. They supposed to do this by this time. There is no or else. How we get into the or else without it being a breach of this contract. So when is this contract breach? Is what people need to be asking the APWU, the NALC, the MVS, whatever the clerk. I don't know I can't remember the clerks and the.
I just had that
handlers.
On my notes. The union thing, and I'm just looking.
Yeah, I'm drawing a blank right now. But under APW, when is there a breach in these contracts that management can choose to do their part on what they win by the contract? They can willingly choose not to live up to your part of the contract with things that you get, and they can just do this forever.
And without
there being a breach of contract, or the fairness goes back to unconscionable terms. Then it's not fair, and if anything is not fair, or it feels like the other side is being oppressed, then it's another voided contract. So I'm trying to figure out between the two, how is the contract not void by now? Legally.
Exactly. I have a manager right now that owed me, first it was $100. I got awarded the route. This was 9 months ago. No word on anything, no anything. Mind you, I'm still have to follow the contract during these 9 months.
Are rolling over in their grave. Because the whole point of a union is to fight for the ones who can't fight the big boys by themselves. That's the whole point of a union. For us to come together, to lend all our voices and all our strength together to be able to come up with an equally fair workplace. That's the whole point of a union. I'm not here to make your job less easier than it's supposed to. You're supposed to do the right things at all times. And when you don't, then you hear from us. Like, I'm tired of sitting back, letting somebody tell me, let's grieve it.
But so what we do, Coffey, now it's time to really start executing. And it's like, okay, once a week, once a month, we need to go to the APWU. It's ridiculous. We saying this, but we not getting heard. They hear us, but they like,
that's
okay.
the thing.
What
We
they
got to
really
stop being.
gonna do?
We got to get ourselves. First
They'll
thing we
do
got to
something
do
when they
is
see us
we got to
outside.
put ourselves in a situation where we get ourselves out of financial debt so we can be able to fight a long fight. Everybody start, reducing your overhead. Things that you don't have to buy. Don't. Absolutely.
It costs
Absolutely.
nothing to say something. It costs nothing.
Correct.
It's nothing to say something, to be there, to stand here. I might need your extra body. They might say I need 3 extra
Correct.
bodies. You ain't gotta say nothing. I'm right here.
What you got to
But I
understand
need
is
you right here.
a lot of people are mob. You know what I'm saying?
That's
They
priceless.
part of the
It's nothing. It
entourage kind
costs
of people,
nothing.
right? There's a lot of people who can stand with you when it's a lot of people standing around you. See, I always believe one of my greatest animals that I love, you know what I'm saying,
I
is
agree.
the wolf.
I
The
agree.
wolf don't never leave nobody. The whole pack stay together forever. Even when they get old, they put them almost at the end and they put some strong ones behind them. That's what we got to be. We got to be the wolf pack. That we not taking nothing.
Yeah, y'all got
Everything we agreed
y'all gotta
on,
move
that's
him.
what you're going to give us. Those are our civil rights inside the United States Postal Service. We're not asking for anything that we haven't agreed on, that we haven't said, let's do that. But you ain't taking nothing now. Let's just be clear. Just because I say it with a nice, calm, easy voice, don't mistake that for being a weakness. Because as soon as you believe that I won't take everything that you owe me and then reach in your back pocket and take them $5 too, that day coming now.
But that's the problem and why we can't really create the wolf pack.
Absolutely.
Because they hear management say something and they back up. Study just taking a chance. It's like, okay, it's 30 of us. These 2 motherfuckers saying something. They may say it in a different way or whatever. But we 30 strong. How could you not think we ain't gonna win? We gonna get across before they get across because we 30 strong.
Well, I'm
versus
I
these
could tell
2.
you, if you got 30 in your office, you won't be 30 strong.
You know
And that's-
what
and that's-
I'm gonna be? Because I'm dealing with that right now. I'm 4 strong, including myself.
Well, look, I'm gonna tell you where we fell at on our end. This ain't in the overall war, but this goes to part of the battle. There's a disconnect on the floor from people that's of the senior listen, and it's not this entire group, but it's a nice portion of these 2 groups I'm about to mention. Of the senior carrier group, let's say we're talking about the carriers in general right now. Of the senior carrier group and the medical restricted carrier group, because they don't suffer what everyone else suffers, they feel like they ain't gotta do the fight because I don't get messed with. I don't go through this or I don't go through that. So then that only leaves the middle group and the new group, right? The middle group got the most weight on their shoulders because they probably came in a few years before COVID, which is like almost 5 years ago now. And so they probably be at the 8-year mark or something like that.
Don't forget the people that came in after COVID, because I was one of those people.
But that's what I'm gonna get into. So that's the new group. That's the lower group. The middle group is the one that came in probably like a few years before COVID. Then you got the lower group, which is, and I'm saying that's that middle group that probably got the most weight on their shoulders because they kind of got a sense of what it is to be a senior carrier going into them being played during COVID and struggling during COVID with everything else that was going on. Then you got the new group. But a lot of that middle group don't have the senior knowledge of the seniors that the seniors are not sharing. You know what I'm saying? Because they feel like mentally they're not in the fight of us. So that's why I say if you got 30 carriers, you don't got 30 fighters. You probably more got like 20 with your senior carriers and then your restricted carriers. Then you got less than the 20 because out of that new group, you probably got about 9 of those that ain't gonna fight at all because they feel like, you know what I'm saying, I'm so new and I don't know what to believe in. Is it management or is this carrier? Why would I listen to a carrier? There's a disconnect because when they buy themselves, and they coming in late, and ain't no regular carriers there because the PTFs are the last ones. It's gonna be the management to tell y'all, yeah, man, y'all make sure y'all don't listen to no bad advice from no carriers, man. So and so over here, you know, she on her last leg anyway.
Right.
Dude over here got paperwork on him anyway. So if I was you, I wouldn't listen to them, man. Just do what
Oh, I fight every day.
So now that there's a divide that's being created. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So now you really only got that middle group.
I fight for them too.
Is only really up for the fight.
I fight for them too. And you
right. That's part of the group that went through COVID that was out here doing 12 plus 12, 13, 14, 15 hours a day. But you fight, but you also fight for people that don't want to fight. That don't help. But it don't help if they don't fight for themselves.
And that makes
and the reason why you keep having to fight, the reason why she keep having to fight is because nobody else is doing it. So she's carrying the weight but you got to take that stress home. So you can't be the only person fighting in your station. It ain't just the passion. You got to go home at the end of the day, Watkins.
Yeah, but you know,
if you ain't willing to fight and you ain't willing to listen,
right.
I'm gonna stick up for
it ain't
you
really
until
too
I
much
see that you don't care about fighting. So if you don't care about fighting, you don't care about getting this paperwork. Hey man, listen, just do what management.
And I be trying.
And
you know what I'm saying? Like, it's like the other day, one of my carriers, she got
what LA say when you went
being tore up or whatever.
You get what I mean? It's like, dude,
they talk about stationary time.
Doing this.
Are you kidding me? She got to reroute not only the mail, but her third birthday. And you keep talking about some stationary time?
Okay. Wow.
Don't read. So look, Fee. So why is she just not bypassing the area and taking it back? Hey, here go this 1 hour of mail that I can't do because I don't want to and then give me something else.
Because then management get to harassing her and she got to go to her steward.
False.
So that's where we come in at. It's like,
watch this. I'm bringing this. Let's say it's this 2 splits, this 2 blocks. I'm bringing this 2 blocks back because you already complained about stationary time, right? Cool. So I'm trying to find the best way not to have stationary time. It's construction anyway. Cool. Listen, it's supposed to be a clear way to the mailbox. Clearly, that's
I'm gonna tell her tomorrow. I'm gonna tell her tomorrow. No
access to that street. Hey, give me two different blocks.
They know that LA, but they don't utilize that because management will say something else.
But listen, but I'm telling you what I would do if I was this person, or if I was Feet to tell this person to do, and you're within your rights and within the contract. And I'm gonna give you the extreme case. Bring these 2 splits back, so I don't gotta worry about no stationary time that y'all like to complain about. Give me 2 other blocks that I can do for this time. So if I'm giving you 2 blocks and it's supposed to be 30 minutes, then give me another 30 minutes of work. And if you say, oh man, you can't listen, you know what I'm doing? Because you should be saying nothing right now, is I feel some type of way, and I feel like you harassing me right now, you creating a hostile work environment. Y'all done told me
you already know she ain't worried about no paperwork.
I'm trying to fix that, whatever case, and now you giving me a hard time about that.
Paperwork.
So
some of the carriers do that. Some of the carriers do that, but some of them get postal and then they get to arguing and stuff.
Yeah.
And that's where we come in.
If you can't handle yourself, then take your paperwork and then shut up. Listen.
I should have been gone a long time ago.
You should be worried about it because at a point in time, they can get rid of you based on the amount of paperwork. If one of them really got it into their head that they wanted you out of there and you did so many things over this floor and I got backed up paperwork for, they can get rid of you faster than you gonna get rid of them because you ain't willing to never do no paperwork.
Yep, I slapped one of the supervisors.
Correct. I'd have been got Fee up out of there.
You know what?
Because he put his face in my face.
But I love to see you on the desk. You know what I mean?
I got mistimed up on workroom flow so many times. Yeah,
hey, she gonna fight every one of them. She gonna fight every one of them. Yeah, because what you gotta because
exactly.
Y'all think it's funny.
Exactly.
Yeah, you be home every day with no pay. You be at work every day with no pay.
But
Hey,
we
but
really ain't. It
it's just,
goes
you
to
know, it goes
dignity and
back
respect.
to
You're not going to talk to
carrier's
me any type
discretion.
of way
We
if
know
you don't
what
want
we
me
can
talking
do
to you
this
any type
day,
of
and
way.
y'all don't try to tell us nothing, or we finna go postal in there.
This is the problem. So this is what allows managers to keep going outside the contract when we like to keep going outside the contract.
Oh, yeah, because
Fee, a lot of times, whatever they done said to you, don't warrants you cussing them out, which you do. And that's
I'm
play game.
finna play back on that because
you're
I
the first
just
person to cuss somebody out, and just because you don't like what the supervisor said, not only did he not cuss you out or not disrespect you, just don't like what he said because you feeling some type of way that day.
But it says in the contract, and I just read this a couple days ago. It said this: stewards, you can talk as loud as you want to, as long as you're talking about that contract.
He better
So
not,
if we get a
he
little
better not
loud,
throw
None
one
of that
at
says
me.
that you can curse.
no, it didn't say we couldn't.
My sister's
It didn't say it couldn't.
So look,
I'm gonna send that to you.
So now if
It
you want
didn't
to
say we
operate,
couldn't.
if you operate in that gray
Facts.
area, that contract also don't say that
Facts.
manager can't throw chairs at people either. It don't say that. So that means he could.
No,
Because
but
it don't say he couldn't.
yeah, really. But hey,
I'm just
hey,
if you want to keep operating in the gray,
Correct.
then that allows them to operate in the gray. You can't keep on complaining if they operate in the gray. If you want to be in the gray, we got to
it
get back to
ain't
the black
nothing.
and
It
white.
ain't nothing that says they can't throw a chair, but it's a definition that pertains to that.
The dignity and
You
respect.
can't be in here throwing stuff.
And you can't be.
You can't put your head. That's a state law.
Listen, getting loud.
Judge
yelling,
Judy will tell you that. Oh, I got a black eye. What did you do to him? I slapped him. Well, he hit you harder. Sorry, you shouldn't have slapped him.
Listen, and that's why they
That's
have
a
something
state law.
in the contract they call dignity and respect. So as much as you want management to abide by it, you should be abiding by it. Otherwise, you open up the door for more stuff to happen. Like Fee, when she tried to defend a carrier because that carrier was crying, mind you, this carrier is an adult and could speak for herself.
It goes back to us just being human.
Okay.
They try to
So
take
when
that
you
away
human-
from you at the post
So
office.
when you human, take what comes with that then.
He did.
Killing people is human too. That mean that you don't have to go to jail for murder? Hey, I had a bad day. I snapped out, choked my girl to death. You know what I'm saying? Should I not go to jail? Can I use that as an excuse? Hey man, I'm human, man. I don't think I should suffer no consequences. Whatever you do, whatever side that you own, just be willing to accept the consequences for that. Then there ain't no problem. But a lot of people ain't willing
I
to
put it
accept the
like this.
consequences for that.
Where I like to
That's part
operate
of the problem. Hold on.
is
Here
in
you
the
go,
area
Coffey.
where is conduct, where it's office conduct. You know what I'm saying? I understand your voice gonna get elevated when you're passionate about anything. You know, as long as you understand that both sides can have that same type of volume, then each side should agree that, hey, I get passionate, you get passionate. Long as we don't start, demeaning each other, as long as we don't start trying to stand up when we agree that we both gonna sit down, that's cool. I believe anytime you're passionate about something, your voice is going to elevate, and you're going to, work diligently for your client or for the contract. But it shouldn't be any profanity used. Fortunately, I don't use.
It ain't like that in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Managers walk up on you like, yeah, I'm about this life. Like, hold on.
And then
now.
you should be walking out.
Are we federal?
Then you should be walking
or
out.
are we at McDonald's?
With your guaranteed
Like,
pay
what's going on?
instead of getting into it. Now some people will.
No, I'll have to grieve it. I have to grieve
Yeah,
it.
when I come back to work, when I feel
And
like,
wait
when I feel
for
like the environment. See, this is what I'm saying. I'm willing to always go to the extreme on what the contracts say to do.
But I gotta wait for my.
I'm not.
Now, if I got into it,
you gonna wait till I come
with
back to
him.
work. We gonna wait till I come back to work before we decide if I'm even filing the grievance, because I'm finna get paid the whole time that I'm out. I don't have to come to work. Once
It's
they
different.
open up that door,
but management,
you can do something that ain't nobody willing to do. I'm not finna, but maybe I'm on a more laid back side. I ain't finna argue with nobody. I don't argue with my girl. As soon as I see that you done violated something, I'm going to the extreme because the contract say I can. And I'm not going to the extreme. I'm not about to yell with a grown man. I'm definitely not about to yell and get into it back and forth with a woman. So cool.
But
I'm
management
walking
will
out.
come out and give you this letter, and then they'll do the certified letter, the AWOL and stuff like that. Your steward gonna file that grievance,
Ain't
but I'm still missing this
So
7 hours of my annual on my shit.
false.
I'm waiting on it.
False. This is the problem. I'm going home because you created a hostile work environment.
Correct.
Right? That's what I'm going home for. I'm not finna be worried about the pay because I'm finna have this side hustle in one of these little delivery apps or whatever the case.
Correct.
In this little delivery app generation or side hustle boom that we got going on. And I'm finna sit at home. And when I get this letter, they come in the mail, I'm finna call the station. As soon as I get the letter, hey, you said be back to work tomorrow, the so-and-so, but guess what? I still feel like it's a hostile work environment, and since someone can prove to me that it's not, I won't be back to work. So I'm replying to your letter with this. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna send you a letter back, and I'm gonna put a USPS tracking on it too. I'm gonna send you this letter back with exactly what I just said to prove to you that you got it. Because I ain't coming back, and I done already contacted the union. Until they come to you and y'all settle something, I won't be back there.
But what if a carrier called a union and the union tell them, no, just report back to work the next day?
Don't
now,
do
if
it.
they put you out, call me.
Don't do it. The contract says
I'm still missing this 7 hours of annual for that day before.
Well, you gotta fill out your own
because the contract say that
3971.
they can't put you in for nothing that you ain't signed no 1260 for. You can get that back. Don't worry about that. I ain't even worried about that. If you ain't did no 1260 or fill out no 3971 for you to take my annual leave, then you can't touch it.
Okay.
Now, I walked out. You got to cover that time because you the one that created the hostile work environment, which I have proof that you did. Cool. I ain't worried about this 7 hours. Correct.
Right.
I ain't worried about the annual leave right now because the bigger fight is me not coming to work. And if I'm on the floor and I seen this happen to Coffey, I'm walking out too because I just watched him have a hostile work environment, and everybody should be doing the same thing. We keep worrying about these single one-on-one fights instead of we all doing it as a unit. When stuff happen over the floor, y'all handle it as a floor. It's not an individual thing. If I watch a dude violate Coffey contract, he just violated my contract too in front of me.
Yep, he's screaming,
the
yelling,
thing that everybody got to understand,
calling him nigga.
You're gonna lose certain
ahead,
things
Coffey.
in the short term, right? So the 7 hours, the 5 hours, the 3 hours, you're gonna lose them in the short term. They're hoping that you are short-sighted. You gotta be long range down the line looking. So if you want to set me out, you can't tell me I'm safe. What have you did? You have to prove to me that you addressed the problem. The problem is not me.
Correct. Now, for context to what Coffey's saying,
How do they
then I'm letting him
prove
go.
to that?
Now watch this. The context of what Coffey's saying is the reason why they attempt to
Correct.
leave y'all out on EP is because they feel like you gonna get it together with this money that you missing. I know that I might be in the wrong and I might have to pay you in the long run, but in the short term, I feel like you being on EP gonna hurt you financially. You get what I'm saying?
What you have to do is you gotta
hustle app game.
The question
season. What
is,
are you talking
are you
about?
sick
Go
and
ahead,
tired of being sick and tired? If you just a little bit upset, you're not sick and tired of being sick and tired. But once you're sick and tired, it doesn't matter. If I have to give up 7 hours for 3 months before I can have another career that's on the nice and the easy, and I'm willing to do that. I'm willing to affect their pocket as much as they're trying to affect mine. That's what I mean about when I say you have to become financially out of debt to be able to fight this long range fight. Because the first thing they're gonna do is they're gonna play with your pocket. Well, you play with my pocket, I don't even care.
I
You know what I'm
agree.
saying?
I agree. I heard a manager say verbatim, "Oh, he want to play and act games,
and
play
that's
games
cool.
on the street. I'm finna mess with his money. I'm only gonna give him
Well,
4
guess what?
hours. Contractually, he can get
This is
12, but I'm
when
only
I
gonna give him
tell
4
everybody,
hours.
this is why I always say
I'm
to
gonna
people,
mess his whole
I
understanding up
have
with
a
this.
wolf pack mentality. If you mess with anybody in the pack, you got to mess with the pack. If you're saying something about my coworker to my right, guess what? I'm writing a statement for that. That goes to what LA said when he said when somebody violate me, they violate him as well.
But what if? So this is what I'm dealing with right now. What if that carrier to your right that you writing a statement for, the very next day they come in all jolly.
That's why you get the
Hey, I
statement
wrote my
immediately.
statement for you and shit like that. Oh no, we good. You
Guess
like,
what?
well, damn.
Guess what?
They ain't gonna do it immediately. They're gonna be mad. Oh, I'm finna go home. I'll give it to you tomorrow, Sheree.
I don't count on everybody. I count on the people that I count on. If me and Coffey was in the same station, which we haven't been since I was a CCA, if me and Coffey in the same station with what goes on now, dude, I'd have walked out so many times. It's crazy. I left so many times. It's crazy. I be praying for the days that I do go back to carrying, or if I go into a station, I wanted to write out of my station and into your station, Watkins, just so I can show you something.
Yep.
With your former manager.
Yep.
Just so I can show you something with your former manager. That's how bad I'm like, dude.
What you did though, and you like, dude, everything that was going on, I'm calling LA. Hey, he like, what? They should be doing this. This should be doing this. He's like, what the? When he left, because he was my acting manager on the desk, I wanted to go with my team, but I couldn't.
Wow.
I had a crazy incident with a manager, and I still couldn't get a trade.
Right.
Mind you, people have got trades in situations like similar to mine, but I didn't. Definitely felt defeated. I said, okay, so now I gotta work with him, and you know I'm a hustler, so I ain't missing no money for nobody. I came to work the next day. But that didn't do nothing for my anxiety, you know, my pride, everything. It's like, what the heck? I never been through nothing like that in my life. Where a person just straight violated me and I'm under contract. And I'm representing this contract. So that's a whole nother episode, y'all. You know?
And that's where you got to start going to your training. You know what I'm saying? I went through that.
You're going to tap in on that soon. You know.
I went
that's a whole nother podcast.
I went through that at Western. You know what I'm saying? Feeling like by myself. I did my paperwork. I waited about 3-4 weeks. I'm like a bear hunter. You know
I remember that.
I'm waiting. I'm
I remember that.
Like crazy, Coffey. Traps like crazy. 3-4 weeks. I'm long term with it. I got a sheet, blanket, everything. I'm sitting on this. You know what I'm saying? I'm taking every time something happens, taking my notes. Oh yeah, this did happen on this day. It was like when I did my EO, it was tight. Your EO shouldn't just be out the blue.
I remember that.
Take your notes. You let them continue to build up. Make you know what I'm saying? You developing a case like you
all the
developing
time.
a case.
All the time.
You put a case like it's real court. And by the time we went in there was no way out of it for all three of them. But when I left, I had the manager locked in tight, and to the point where the manager threw both the supervisors under the bus.
We love that, don't we? See, when they go against each other, but they on the same plan.
And one of the supervisors was her friend that she threw under the bus too, because she trying to get the least sentence that she can get as possible. Oh yeah, it's my supervisor. They don't know what they doing. I'm just here by myself trying to get them together. I was like, what? In my head, I didn't say nothing. In my head, I'm like, what? Okay, I'm gonna let this slide. You know what I'm saying? Because they ain't throwing no name on me. By the time, hey, Linda, what you want? That's how it ended. Hey, Linda, what you want? I said I would be willing to accept them being retrained. Mm-hmm. That's what I went for, right? Thinking, because I really just did it to show her that you can get paperwork on you. Because I was really gonna put it on the supervisors and let them pass word to the manager. But when they kept saying the manager told me to do it, I'm like, oh, I'm gonna have to jump a step then. I got bigger fish to fry. So I put the paperwork.
I got a hopscotch.
Yeah. So
I got a hopscotch on this one.
So I put it on her. Okay, cool. You know, just say, look, that's like me going for somebody.
Well, they doing the Woody.
And they give me the supplier. You gonna give me the supplier? Oh,
I'm
about to get a promotion. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I got the blue gal.
Yeah, we don't just want the small fish. We want
Right.
the
Somebody
okay,
job
cool.
her
They gonna
before
get
we
this.
go.
Cool.
any-
That's one step closer to the C sign. The OIC.
Don't
What-
give me this whole
Let's see if I
catfish.
can get him in here too. You know what I'm saying? She do the supervisor. Okay, cool. So I take
Right.
that. So I settled for
Of
retraining,
course.
but that happened in that meeting. It didn't go higher than whatever the case is. Now I don't know what would have happened if I'd have asked for her removal.
Something.
I don't know if it would have had to go higher than that for determination.
But he wouldn't not been out of his rights though. She definitely breached the contract. Whatever he wanted, you know what I mean? Whatever he wanted should have been an option.
This the thing. This was everything. So the whole time I got him for gender discrimination, right? I'm gonna hook for that because it was multiple times I came back and I seen females leaving early while they trying to get a dude's pivots, and there was females leaving early who ain't had no pivot. I remember asking them at the time clock one time, like, "Hey, you leave? It's like 1:30. We our end tour was 3 o'clock. 1:30. I was like, "What you at the time clock?" She said, "Oh, I'm just waiting to clock out. Waiting to clock out. It's 1:30.
Where you going?
Did your pivot
Right.
already?" Said, "Oh, no, I ain't get no pivot." Then another one walked up, just put her stuff up. Yo, you did your pivot already too? I ain't do no pivot. Huh? I've seen this multiple days, but I'm seeing Mike got a pivot, Anglin got a pivot, Q assigned a pivot, I'm assigned a pivot. Not that we doing it, but I see him assigned. I'm like, hold on. I watched this happen for days. This is one of the things. So I got you for gender discrimination. Cool. Because you overworking the men. Or attempting to overwork the men and not the women. So when I said that in there, oh, who was at the time clock, Leonard? Who? What? Because I need to know. I said, listen, man, that ain't got nothing to do with me. You know what I'm saying? Who was there? I just know it was 2 women there. Now, if you want to know what day, I done already said the day. You got 2 supervisors. Y'all can go back to the day through y'all paperwork and y'all can guesstimate who that was, but it ain't my job to say names. My job is what happened with me and discrimination against me, not for so you can look into somebody else. I don't know who that was. I know it was women, and I kept seeing it. Got her for gender discrimination, age discrimination. For the other people, I watched it happen on the floor. I watched it happen, age discrimination. Then I got it for harassment with these pivots, right? Because y'all got something to say. Every time I bring this pivot back, I'm following the paperwork. The paperwork say if I can't complete a pivot, my job is to contact manager. That's what y'all want. Cool. I was instructed to. I contacted y'all. Majority of the time, like 8 out of 10 times, y'all don't say nothing. Now she threw up. She like, Linda, but I say something to you. I said, yeah, and you the only one. Your opener don't, and your closer don't. Now the couple times that you responded, you told me to do it as overtime. Cool. They don't respond. Whichever one is on the desk at that time, which should be both of them at 12 o'clock, because I send at 12 o'clock on the dot every day. 12 o'clock on the dot. It's not gonna be completed, and I need somebody to come out here, count my splits, and walk with me. And don't nobody ever do. I used to say that in the what you call it. I'm not gonna be able to complete this pivot. I need somebody to come out here with me and count my meal. I'm volunteering, and when nobody come outside, and I come back and I bring this pivot back. Oh, Linda, what's going on? Hey, listen. After like the 5th, I said, listen, I'm not about to go through this every day. I'm not gonna be able to complete this pivot. What are my instructions? Now, at this point in time, now I done got it out of my head that I'm even doing overtime. So cool. Now I'm just bringing it back. Hey, I couldn't do it. Here you go. Oh, you just putting this? Yeah, I can't. Well, it's assigned to you. I ain't doing it. But so I shouldn't have to keep hearing nothing. So at this point in time, if I keep hearing anything, your job is to move on and do whatever it is that you got to do to get this done. This shouldn't be a further conversation in this. I sent the message at 12. Didn't nobody say anything. I'm bringing it back before my 8 hours. Here you go. I got 5 minutes left. Cool. I'm punching out. Now the fact that you keep on talking, but you got to do this. Y'all can't. Now y'all starting to harass me. That's unwelcome verbal conduct. It's unwelcome. The stuff that you're saying to me right now is unwelcome verbal conduct. You should be calling your overtime vows or whoever it is to get this mail assigned instead of talking to me at this point in time. I did my job. If you want to do all this and say all this, you should have did this at 12 when I was still on the clock. But you didn't. You didn't say nothing. Right? At this point in time, I said this 3 hours ago. Cool. I let that build up. So I got her for that. And when I'm actually like, dude, why y'all keep doing this? Why y'all keep so-and-so? This is what she said. The manager told us to do it. Oh, the manager told you to do it, huh? Okay. Now, I'm going to go into this. If you do have unauthorized overtime and they're trying to put you in a 1017B, they have to tell you that they're doing that.
Define unauthorized overtime.
Unauthorized overtime,
real quick,
but by standard should be overtime that you did without them approving it.
Okay.
by proving them telling you to do so. All right, we ain't gonna stay too much longer. We're going on the 1:30 mark. Well, hopefully not. Coffee in there typing. He probably got bedtime. You know, he got a curfew and everything. So, unauthorized overtime, ladies and gentlemen, if you don't know, it's time that you do past your 8 hours that's not approved. Now, my interpretation of not approved is them telling you to. So if you give me an hour pivot, let's say everybody route quote unquote supposed to be 8 hours in general. That's the general assumption. Every route is quote unquote 8 hours, right? So if you think you're going to go over, yes, that's in the 8 hours. Okay. The routes were set up to be at majority of the stations 2 hours office time, 6 hours on the street. That's how they was designed, right? So that might not be. I mean, that's give and take. Different routes is different routes again. If you think you're gonna be over, then you got to fill out. This is why if you think you're gonna be over 8 hours, you're supposed to be filling out a $39.96 for overtime, for extra time. Because the general principle is your route is 8 hours, right? So cool. Now, if you give me a pivot, say Leonard, you got this your 1 hour pivot. That means you're interpreting that or assuming that I'm going to be done in 7 hours to do this 1 hour pivot because you're not calling it overtime. Overtime would be past my 8 hours. Cool. So if I don't do that pivot, right, and manage, and let's say I send my message like I normally do at 12 that I'm not going to be able to complete this pivot, and I do it anyway as overtime without them saying Leonard can continue or Leonard keep going or Leonard do it as overtime, then they're going to say that that's unapproved, unauthorized overtime. That's not approved.
Okay.
Because they didn't approve you. Make them manage. Make them give you instructions. You want me to do this pivot as overtime, somebody gonna have to tell me that. Because y'all play too many games. If I did it, then y'all say it's unauthorized. Now again, if you do have unauthorized overtime, they're supposed to tell you if they're putting you in the 1017B book, right? They're supposed to tell you. And you're supposed to get a reason on why you went over, right? For unauthorized overtime. Once they did that to me, I said I'd never have unauthorized overtime again. I said, unauthorized? You told me to do it. Also, so I said, nah, we're not doing that. If you now on management side, if you tell somebody to keep going, you're authorizing the overtime. If you don't want them to have unauthorized overtime, or you don't want them to do the overtime, then you need to be telling them to bring mail back, which we know y'all not gonna do. But if management tell you to keep going, then they're authorizing the overtime.
So basically, don't go out and I tell carriers that don't just do. If she said it's a pivot. And you thinking, you knowing in your mind, like, oh, this ain't going to be a pivot. I got this much. It's going to leak into overtime. That will consider unauthorized overtime.
Correct, because they didn't tell you to do overtime. Back
or call them. Exactly. They said it was a pivot. It's different.
You can call them in the afternoon
to say, hey, keep going.
I'm not going to make this. I'm not going to make this whole hour overtime. What are my instructions? You can even say it in that way. What are my instructions? So now if they tell you to keep going, then they instruct you. If you don't get no instructions, then you need to be coming back within your 8 hours with that mail. Okay. So let's just say they gave me an hour pivot, but I could do 30 minutes of it. I'm going to go do this 30 minutes. Look, I'm almost at my 8. I'm about to go back to the station. Hey, here go this other 30 minutes. I had an hour pivot. I was able to do 30 minutes. Here go the other 30 minutes. They would ask you, oh, why you didn't do this? Because you told me to have an 8-hour day. I didn't have authorized overtime. And I sent you a message at 12. Didn't nobody say anything. So are you authorized? Now, if you want to do it, then ask for instructions. Are you authorizing the overtime or not? If you authorizing, then I go do it. If you not, then hey, I got to punch out within my 8 and I'm on the clock. I got 2 minutes left.
So what if when you come back in the office and then they try to reverse it, like, okay, just do it for overtime. You back already to show time to clock out.
And if you're willing to do it as overtime, that's on you.
That's okay.
If you're not, then don't. It's at the end of your shift. If you're a non-val, you can't be forced. At the end of your shift, I made plans already. Now, if you on the overtime list, they possibly can make you do it because you're on the overtime list or PTF. You know what I'm saying?
That's because we got that.
If
we got that hour
pivot, then most
operation
likely
with
your
that
overtime
5:30
valve's
window.
not max and your PTF not max. Technically, it's supposed to go to them. Now,
So-
Felicia Station, they give out
We got a
overtime
5:30
across the
window
board
up here,
without
and what
maxing
it is
overtime valves and stuff like that.
everybody
I'm
off
not
the
even
clock by
doing it.
5:30. So basically, they're not
Which I'm
matching
not
our
doing it because
overtime
the
valves out to the 12
contradicts itself.
because
I'm
they
not
can
doing
hold the
it because
5:30
it don't
window to
make
get
sense.
everybody off by
I gotta get
5:30.
understand.
So they're
Get into that
giving
a
the
little
low
more,
people.
Steve. So they can do
maybe
that with
an
what kind
hour,
of thing?
maybe a pivot. It just depends. But if they can get everybody off at 5:30, if they have to give the no people an hour
Okay.
15, it just depends. But it's stupid because our union, before COVID hit, we had the 5:30 window. And so basically once COVID hit, the 5:30 window went out the window because we couldn't hold 5:30 no more. But now that everybody is back to work and we got enough people, now they're holding 5:30 again.
Okay.
So now this is
Wow.
right.
Wow.
But
Yeah.
but that contradicts their contract because they still got the regular overtime. How you supposed to assign overtime stuff?
And see,
still
that's
in
an
their
our
contract,
local.
where you supposed to max the overtime vows and CCAs. And
Yeah,
to
that's
get
in
to
our
the
local.
to
So
get to
this
your
is what I'm
non-vows.
grieving every
So they're
single day.
violating that with the 5:30 window, which both they contradicts each other in the same contract. This is what I'm saying. At what
Every
point
day,
is the contract
every
void? Because it
day.
ain't making sense by this point in time. It's stuff in the contract that contradicts stuff, the other stuff in the
Wow.
contract.
Right, that's what I was just thinking about, the headache that you got to go through with this. It's like, come on, man. Wow.
I say I wouldn't be doing it. They have to be me in the office. There's certain things, man, that I just ain't gonna do, and somebody got to see me in the office. That's just it. And y'all got to get that mentality too, man. Stop being scared of going into the office. That's what we gonna get this understanding. And it's really because management think that, oh no, they're finna get right. No, you finna get right. This is why we in here. You just don't.
I know that's
You just don't
right.
understand. You don't understand what we going into the office for. I did this to purposely get in here to put you on notice that it ain't gonna never happen, G. It ain't gonna happen. And every time you think it's gonna happen, we gonna be in here. And I'm gonna put paperwork on you into the point where I can build a harassment case against you because I'm putting you
And see,
on
this
notice
is what I'm
today
arguing every day.
that this is unwelcome and unwanted, what you're doing or attempting to do. Now, you want to go by the 5:30? That's cool. I don't got to go by the 5:30 because I'm still
So
sticking by the
now,
regular overtime
my
rules that's in the
manager,
contract.
so
Now, if you
when
got
me
a
and the
problem with that,
supervisor
maybe
meet,
you
me
need
and
to get
him
the other
not
thing out the
agreeing.
contract.
So
Until
then
then,
it gets
we
took to
both
the
in the
formal
right. So
A. They not
who wrong and
agreeing.
who right
So
then?
now we at
You
step
say
B.
I go by the
Step B
5:30.
just
I
didn't
say
agree.
I
So
go by the
now
overtime
I got
rules.
27
Who right?
grievances
So
right now
so again,
at
when we go in the office for this,
arbitration.
you still ain't gonna win no write up because I'm still right.
Oh, man. Damn.
And instead of grievances, it should be paperwork from management. Because there wouldn't be no grievance because ain't none of us taking no overtime.
Right.
To
That's
grieve
crazy.
nothing. Listen, this is what I'm gonna tell you. You can assign that mail to me. This is what I tell people too. You can assign me anything in the world. You can assign me 3 routes if you want to. I bet you I'll be here in my 8 hours and be going home. If my overtime vows and my CCAs/PTF not maxed, I ain't doing no time. That's just gonna be it. Now, unless I'm under that day, I got this little pivot, maybe a split or two or whatever I might have.
Okay, what if managers,
I'm not doing it.
come up to you and say, because a lot of carriers don't know this, oh, everybody's maxed out, I got to give you 2 hours. This carrier, like, how the hell can she say that? She got to prove that to me.
I talk to the carriers. I mean, you can also look at the sheet if y'all got y'all picking time. You can look at the sheet.
Every day.
Now, let's just say you can't look at the sheet. You at one of the stations where they pick the time for you. Cool, whatever. I'm gonna hit the street. I'm gonna make my calls. Hey, McAdoo, you max? Okay, cool. It's par max. I know you got par on the phone. Par max? Cool. Okay, cool.
Right. Okay.
Let me call Lewis. Lewis, you max on so call a couple people. Y'all got 4 or 3.5 at least. Whatever. Okay, cool. Then cool. If somebody tell me they got 2 or they got whatever, they got 2 and 1.5 and this, that, and the other, man, that mail gonna be on the floor. I'm coming back and punch that. Little, you left this on. Nah, dude ain't max. She ain't max. No, y'all ain't getting me. Y'all got to max them for y'all get to me. Then I take my 2 when I'm supposed to take my 2. But typically, I'm never in the station where that's happening. I'm never in the station where that happened. So,
We are.
if they were trying to open the 5:30 window, I'm not doing it. That's me personally. But I'm also the one that's willing to go in the office. If that's not you, then that's not you. But I'm confident in the knowledge that I've gained so far to speak for myself. I've only been in office maybe 2 or 3 times total, and I've always spoke for myself all the time. My steward has never had to say anything.
I ain't never been in the office.
I was at the office for attendance review when we finally got a new manager at Western, and then she just did everybody an attendance review. And then when Lydia did attendance review for the whole station, I did attendance review. And then when I put the EEO on, that's the only time I've been in office. So 1 out of the 3 times I was putting paperwork on management, which y'all should feel safely doing or feel safe doing. Okay. To then again, right. Article 3, right to manage, aka mismanaging. You know what I'm saying? Is the downfall of the post office, and all of management is just mismanaging. And they use that in different ways that creates headache, that creates harassment, open the door for harassment, or creating a hostile work environment because they feel like they don't have to go by the rules. Also, this takes part in their training, because why do I really have to pay for the supervisor's training when they could just do whatever they can manage the station? They can manage their station like managing the McDonald's, and then just say, well, I got Article 3, I could just do what I want to do. So most people in management don't know the contract. That's a fact. Most people in management don't know the contract.
I don't know why that's not a requirement, because that's where all the grievances come in at. They see where the ball falls on management.
Yeah, but they also feel like we gonna hold off on paying the grievance anyway. So they're not even feeling the violation is not taking a toll on them because they're trying to hold off on paying you your money. Right? So it's like there's a consequence, right? And the consequence keeps getting held back. So Leonard does something illegal. Leonard's supposed to go to jail, but jail is saying, but the person over the jail is saying, man, we'll let Leonard stay on the street about another month, then we'll go get him. Then that month ends, and like, man, we'll let him stay for another month, but Leonard keep on violating. But Leonard guy is over the jail. So Leonard like, man, the community like, man, when dude gonna pay his price for violating? Say, hey man, we dictate that, not you. That's what management is doing. We dictate when we gonna fix the violation. Y'all don't dictate it. So until then, we just gonna keep on postponing fixing whatever you're supposed to be doing or paying the consequence on whatever. For one, they shouldn't dictate when they pay the consequence. This is what Coffey was talking about. I don't know if that was earlier or on
but
another
do you put
show.
when you write up the grievance, do you put it in there that it should be paid out the next pay?
Then they gotta pay money. Then they decide when they're gonna pay the money.
I agree. And that's the biggest thing right now. People want to know, where's my money for this grievance? We won this case. Where's this? Where's the Oh, management isn't the place. Yep, contentions. Yeah, every 14 days.
And then they get hit with the non-compliance, and they still don't pay.
Non-compliance. I did 4 non-compliance for the same thing. And it was so stupid because it was for uniform stuff. It's like, dude, like, is you kidding me? You don't want to pay this?
Now look, now I'm gonna tell y'all this, right? In case y'all didn't know, and this is things that I verbally heard. So this is going on my personal experience. Part of if you in the district or part of a district or whatever the case is, and no matter what you're on, carriers, clerks, mail handlers, truck drivers, whatever you in, right? I'm gonna tell you one of the reasons, which is one of the bigger reasons. It's not the only reason. One of the big reasons why you're not getting paid, right, is because management gets a bonus for being under budget, right? Grievances comes out of the budget per each station. So every station has a financial budget that they're supposed to be or try to operate within, right? Like a regular business. So let's take one station, and this one station is supposed to be around 30. Let's say
we'll take tactile.
Let's say $50,000 a month to run to run Titonia Station. Shout out Titonia Station. To run Titonia Station every month is the general principle. That's what we're paying your carriers, paying your clerks, building facility maintenance, whatever the case is. Now, when you got to order stuff like uniform allowances, bags, like satchels and stuff like that, ordering stuff for the station also comes out of your budget or affects your budget. Grievances that management has to pay also comes out of the budget, right? So one of the reasons management not attempted to pay is because they're trying to stay under budget, right? And if they stay under budget by, I think, a certain percent or a certain amount or whatever, then management gets a bonus. It's like if it's like a 3-month window, 6-month window, whatever the case it is. I think it's like a 3-month window, maybe 6 months. I could be mistaken about the time. But management gets a bonus for a fact as long as they're under a certain amount, either per station or as a district. So part of the reason why they don't pay grievances is because those come out of your budget. And they know for a fact they're going to be over budget if they pay all those grievances for mismanagement. Now, this is why I say to me it's kind of silly. Because management know that they're over budget if they pay those grievances, which is why they're not paying it. Yeah. So now you're almost like falsifying your numbers to make it seem like you're under budget to get money from the post office. But then when you pay those grievances, you're over. So you kind of stole money from the post office. You get what I'm saying? Because you got the budget under false pretenses. That makes sense?
Yeah, that is crazy because I seen that happening. It's like it's happening now. It's like, what the hell?
Now again, this show, again, we're gonna throw this out there. You know what I'm saying? Welcome to the Postal Blue Podcast. You know what I'm saying? We try to give y'all good information. Get y'all good information, management side and craft side. This just so happened to be about the Article 3. You know what I'm saying? Which again, Article 3 is not all the way bad. It is meant to be used in extreme situations or emergencies, right?
It's definitely touchy and sensitive.
Correct. So if I come in a day and have my station down, and the way I mismanage is say, okay, look, ain't nobody casing. Everybody take 2 routes. Let's just say all my people 12-hour vials, or they ain't got no restrictions or whatever the case is. Everybody, we down 10 routes. Let's say it's 20 route station. We down 10 routes, 20 carriers. Hey, it's a 12-hour day, y'all. Nobody case. Everybody take two routes, packages, and DPS. I just mismanaged, but I mismanaged in a way to try to at least cover all the mail. You get what I'm saying? But it's an extreme situation. Now, I'm willing to pay that grievance because, again, I got to get the mail out first and foremost. That's the mission of the post office. So that's the extreme situation where I got to mismanage. It's only should be happening during those extreme type of situations. It ain't meant for just daily use of just regular things.
I was just gonna say, so what do you call that for daily use? It's like that.
No, that's not what it's for. But that's
how could you tell me in my face you gonna fight this grievance? It's like, come on, man. So now I gotta do all this. All right.
But again, welcome to the Postal Blue Podcast. This is episode 4, entitled Article 3. Shout out to my sister Fee. Shout out to Watkins. Shout out to Black Knight. I'm your boy LA Styles. Y'all make sure not to forget that. Y'all can check us out on YouTube under Amazing Studios. That's spelled AMAZAN. Amazing Studios. You can find all of our podcasts over there. You can also listen to us on all your streaming platforms.
Share and subscribe.
Sharing. If you're a craft employee, make sure you subscribe. If you're on the management side, make sure you subscribe because we're going to have episodes for managers too. This just so happened to be an Article 3 thing, and there's no point of management speaking on this side. Even though I've kind of been over there a little bit, at least on the acting side, and there's no real way to kind of defend outside of what we've already said in extreme emergencies. Again, there is a place for Article 3 in extreme circumstances, but it's not a daily use tool. Not supposed to be a daily use tool. Again, management will try to argue against that, but again, we already know that's part of them mismanaging. So if the information is tainted, it ain't no part in listening to it. It ain't no point in listening to it. We try to give you the straight up and down what it is on black and white and what it means in the black and white. Okay, there's not a one-sided thing or anything of that nature. I'm not always craft side. I'm not always management side. I try to be in the black and white for better or for worse. With that, again, make sure y'all check us out on all streaming platforms, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Postal Blue Podcast. We also got a community on Twitter by the same name, Postal Blue Podcast. If you're a craft employee or if you're on the management side, you can go get that information. We're gonna have some live spaces going on over there in the near future where we can debate back and forth. We can sit down, talk, cross craft, do all this type of stuff and things like that. We also gonna have some giveaways. Got some merchandise coming, some shirts, some patches represent your craft. We got some individual craft patches, no matter what your craft is, and we got some Postal Blue patches coming out. You know what I'm saying, that you can put on your shirt and represent for whatever your craft is in the postal service. Okay.
And encourage our customers.
Correct.
They in the fight. They in the fight with us. You know, your customers, you know, like stuff, you know, get the information out.
Make sure y'all share this with y'all customers, because we also gonna be going into things that's customer related, such as informed delivery, why it don't work, all that type of things. We got those shows coming. Let your customers get that information. You know what I'm saying? And again, we building a community where we can get the information, where we can stay together, stick together. If you got something going on at your station, we can get that out. We get that information. Go to the Twitter community or the X community, to Postal Blue Podcast over there. We do got a website that's coming, that's in the works, and we do got a Discord that's coming, that's also in the works. And we can help get you that assistance. That if you having a rally at your station, we can get that information out, and maybe people at the surrounding stations can come help you at your rally. You know what I'm saying? Or maybe the other crafts can come help you at your rally in nearby areas, or whatever the case is. So again, we gotta start somewhere. So we gotta build that community, right? So 2024 is gonna be the year that we start building. We don't have a choice at this point in time, because too much playing in our face has been happening. Okay, so we gotta start somewhere. You got anything, Watkins? Again, Watkins is a carrier and a union steward. My sister Fee is a carrier and a union steward. Coffey, also known as Black Knight, he's a carrier and a safety captain, and represent for the stewards at times. You know what I'm saying? He kind of do what he wants to.
Thanks for tuning in, guys.
Going on the boat and whatnot.
So just know, when me and Fee on here together, it's gonna be over an hour. Stay tuned. Stay tuned. So yeah, shout out to Fee, LA Coffey. Thanks for, letting me tap in. Yeah, it's on. We are back at it tomorrow. I'm off tomorrow, so. And
remember, episodes recorded on Sunday, so y'all should be getting this 9 a.m. Central Standard Time every Monday. Every Monday. All right, we're gonna come to y'all. Then in the middle of the week, I might come to y'all with a 0.5. If anybody got any concerns, questions, comments, make sure on whatever you listen to us on, even if it's on YouTube, or if you go to the communities on Twitter /X now, and if you got any type of comments, we will try to address those things in a short episode called a 0.5. So this is episode 4. So in the middle of the week, we might do a 4.5, depending on the comments and things that people say, to address a few things and get up out of there. Last week we got a 0.5 or 3.5. It was like 30 minutes. We will try to keep it like that and then get up out of there to give y'all a middle of the week thing to address some things that y'all saying and things of that nature, so we don't necessarily get anything mixed, and so we don't have to address too much coming up on that next Sunday. All right. Again, we're trying to give y'all that content and build you that community, get you that support that you need. Who knows? In the future, the Postal Blue might turn into its whole nother union for craft employees. You know what I'm saying?
It is. We out here.
APW kind of be dropping the ball, and we'll address them when it's time as well. So just for you supervisors and managers who think we just against y'all, we actually not 100% for the APW either. You know what I'm saying? We in the middle, because y'all both be jacked up. You know what I'm saying? Y'all both ain't doing what y'all supposed to be doing. Okay? That said, we'll get up out of here, man. Fee is way past Fee bedtime. She got to take a nightcap. Coffey definitely in the bed already. And Watkins got to go do something with her hair.
Yeah, and I'm gonna eat some tacos. So next episode, we're gonna tap in.
And with that, I don't know what it's gonna be yet, but if we have a 0.5, I will let y'all know then, which should be like Wednesday or Thursday. I will address what the next topic is going to be on the 0.5 if we do the 0.5. I'm trying to make the 0.5 a regular thing, so we can do like 2 shows a week. A longer show, which is a full episode, which is Sundays, and then just a way shorter episode just to respond to questions and concerns and things like that. Try to help people in the middle of the week that got questions about the previous show. All right, with that, so sometimes the 0.5 might not be everybody. It might be one of us, might be one or two of us, or whatever the case is, just to give you that information, and then we're about it there. With that, again, thanks for listening. This is the Postal Blue Podcast. Catch us on all streaming platforms. Make sure you hit that share button, because sharing is caring on whatever you're listening to, so your coworkers can get that information. And so your carriers, your customers, your residents on your route can get the information. We bigger than what it looks like. Technically, we got the whole nation to hold us down, right? The mail carrier is the face of the post office, not the supervisor, not the manager, not your OIC or your CSON, whatever it's called, not your postmaster, your district manager. They never even seen these people before. Your whole community of 500 houses or 600 houses, 400, whatever's on your route. Some people got 1,000 apartments or whatever. The face of the post office is you, the carrier. And if you got a problem, I guarantee you, your people will go to bat for you, right? So we got these concerns. Not only we 500,000 deep here, we also got all the customers for all 500,000 of those people to ride with us, right? So we gotta bring this community together, closer than what we've been, and we got to get to the bottom of a whole lot of things, and we gonna do that starting this year. We're starting at the middle of this year, because we just got rolling. With that, we're gonna get up out of here again. Y'all make sure to hit that follow and subscribe button. I appreciate you. One.
Like and subscribe.
Like and subscribe.
Subscribe to the podcast for all future episodes and make sure to share with someone. We appreciate everyone, and there's a lot more to come.